AmpSquare.tv understands how important advertisement is and is proud to express that it's truly the only plugged-in internet television production company on the market. Amp2.tv live streams all their shows across all the major selling markets in the U.S. and abroad. Call them at 866-224-5422. The AmpSquare.tv library allows productions to be seen over and over again, making commercial platforms more usable. Call 866-224-5422. Toll free 866-224-5422. Amp2.tv, the first and only internet television network that's truly plugged in. 866-224-5422. That's AMP2.TV. The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Alexandra Bello Productions presents Artistic Times Radio with Alexandra Bello, covering art events, museums, festivals, and music. We have interviews of artists, celebrities, musicians, writers, and more. Learn about South Florida happenings and discover art firsthand while enjoying red carpets, fashion shows, and press conferences from the hand of our host, Alexandra Bello. Tune in on WNN 1470 every Tuesday night at 7:30 and on my website, ABP TV. Now, it's about to get artistic in here.
Hi everyone! Another week of Artistic Times right here with Alexandra Bello. I am excited to be here tonight, and I have wonderful people with me. I have Joshua Caraballo, Kathleen Rigby. Did I say it right?
No.
No? I'm sorry. Caitlin. Okay. Well, you know, I was like kind of like reading in Spanish. So Kathleen Rigby. Caitlin Rigby, it's actually the lead actress for the film that we're going to talk about tonight, Being Transgressive. And I have Kevin Bryn Smith right here. He was the DP for the movie. How are you all doing?
Wonderful.
Pretty well.
Awesome. How are you doing, Joshua? Tell me a little bit about the movie and a little bit about Minerva Films.
Sure thing. All right. Well, we have a 22-minute film that is about two main characters. Mac is a female-to-male transgender individual who is working as a financial accountant and wants to be able to do a gender transition at work. And so we have our secondary character, our other co-star, who's Jerry. And Jerry happens to believe in the traditional binary where it's either male or female, nothing in between. So as you can imagine, the two of them clash and some drama ensues. But the real message behind it all is that no matter what we feel or what we espouse in life, there comes a point in time where we have to look into the inner soul and find out how we can help our fellow man, woman, or individual in any way that we possibly can. So the message becomes more about trying to understand each other, trying to find that way that we can love other individuals and make this world a better place. And it's done through these two characters, if you will. So the transgender issue in of itself has been a huge thing, as we all know, in the media. And I guess people can think or look at it in one way, which is we're kind of riding that wave, if you will. But I think being in the media or having this type of exposure, if you will, is one way to look at it. But I think there's another way as well. It's not just about exposure. It's about actually looking into ourselves and trying to see if we can find the passion and the wherewithal to actually assist people and take action. So I'm looking to move to the next step. Instead of just exposing people to these stories, is to actually go a step further and say, what can we do together to make this world a better place for transgender individuals and all individuals?
Awesome. That is very, very good. I actually met Joshua Caraballo years ago at a cat expo, and it was so wonderful because,
Right.
I mean, you were at the Art Institute too, right?
I was, yes.
So that's where we know each other from, because I was a student at the Art Institute, and this was one of my favorite teachers, Kevin Smith. So it's, it's a small place here in South Florida, but lovely, lovely people. I want to ask you, Caitlin, what was your experience, since I hear that this was your first experience acting?
Yeah, it was my first film. I did some theater acting in high school, but other than that, nothing particularly stood out. So I got an email from a friend of mine saying that there was a casting call, and I said, sure, I'll go try it. So I went, and Josh picked me.
Awesome. And what was the process? I mean, did you find it exciting all the time? Did you find it a lot of work, or?
It was a lot of work, and it was relatively stressful. Being my being my first time acting for film, I didn't have any experience, and Josh was a great teacher, and he really knew how to get the emotions out of me that he wanted to see on film, and he's a great director.
Awesome, great
Thank you.
director.
I paid her to say that.
Oh, awesome.
It was a penny.
Hey,
but-
you know what? There are directors out there that cannot get their lead actresses to talk good about them. So, and they do have a lot of money.
Now, I want to
wanna
be clear. Sorry.
No,
I
go
want to
ahead.
be clear and say that I don't have a lot of experience. So, to me, he's the greatest director I've ever worked with.
He's a great director. So no, you are right about that. He's a great director.
I
So
know.
you are good on what you're saying. Now I want to ask you, Kevin, what was your experience being part of this, crew?
Well, my experience was it was intense. It was an intense film. Josh had been working on it for probably close to a year, I think, before we went into production and pulling it together, and a lot of different revisions of the script. And Josh had talked to me about it early on in the process. If I wanted to come aboard and help out, and of course I did. This is the second film that we did together, I think, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I was
Actually,
trying to think
third.
third film. Yeah, the
No, it's
other
the
one never
third.
got finished. So we did two and
We
a
don't
half
talk about
films.
that.
We got one that we did. We got production done and never posted it. But
happens.
so it was our third film together. And of course we were colleagues at the Art Institute. And Josh and I, although we didn't really know each other well, went to the University of Miami together. Both in the same MFA program. I believe I was a year ahead of him, and he was in the producing track, and I was in the production track. And so we just kind of, we met again at the Art Institute when he came aboard there, and we got to work together. Josh is one of those sort of creative people that is amazingly passionate about projects. He doesn't waste his time and won't endeavor to go into anything that I believe he isn't 100% invested in. And so I know when he brought the project up to me, it wasn't something that he was gonna that he wasn't serious about. And with busy schedules and all those kinds of things, he full swing into a PhD program, and working on school, and and our schedules. All of us, I think, had it was a challenge. It was a challenge pulling down dates and getting the production down once the script was finalized. And amazingly, out of 6 hard days of production, we had 1 day that we had to reschedule.
That's right.
And
yeah.
that's amazing.
It was.
That's amazing, because usually I think everything just really went smoothly, as tough as it was. Josh is not only an amazing writer and director, but he's also an amazing producer, and pulled everything together that he needed to pull together, and with a lot of help, and we were able to get it done. It was an amazing experience, it really was, and I'm proud to be part of it.
Well, thank you.
Oh,
Well, I want to invite everyone to give us a call at 888-565-1470. We actually have tickets for you. The first people who call, you're going to get a ticket and a ticket for your guest. They actually have the premiere for this movie, Being Transgressive, this Thursday, April 30th at 7:30 p.m. So you can arrive at the Gateway Theater at 6 p.m. and just network with some people, right, on the red carpet.
If you win the tickets.
If you win the tickets.
Please
If you-
don't just show up.
If you don't, please don't show up. I mean, You can actually contact You can contact Joshua. You just go to minervafilms.net and contact him if you wish to, find out how to get tickets. And we will be right there waiting for you. I will be on the red carpet recording some people and doing some interviews. So we're going to make everybody have a wonderful experience, as much as I can help. And I know that he has a whole night planned out. He already explained it to me. I don't know how much I can say. So go ahead and tell me, what do people expect when they go this Thursday night on Fort Lauderdale's Gateway Theater?
Well, we have about 150 guests that are coming already, so it's not necessarily open to the public, but we definitely want to get the word out there about the story itself. And of course, if somebody does call in today, we are going to extend those tickets as you just talked about. And I do have, a few extra tickets, so I just want to be careful that, if we get a huge influx of people requesting, I would hate to turn anyone away. I want everyone that wants to see this film to be able to see it. But outside of the actual premiere, we have also entered into 13 different festivals. So that's exciting because
wow,
even if we get accepted, knock on wood, on like half of those festivals, we're going to be some busy people. So I'm elated.
How busy are you going to be with festivals? Do they take a lot of time?
Well, it's an interesting question, and it all depends on how you want to really work it. The festival market can be a strategy that you use for many things. To win awards, you could use it to gain extra exposure, to maybe sell your film, but of course we all know when it comes to short films, the odds of you actually selling it are going to be nil. I mean, now
really?
Anything's possible. Well, short films, there's not a huge market for them. I mean, when it comes to features, there definitely is. I mean, if you have, a nice robust feature, you have a good chance, if you've done it really well, to actually perhaps get it sold. But a short film is really a calling card for a filmmaker to make another film.
Yeah.
That's what we use it for. So I tend to not try to have much expectations. Been doing this for about 10 years, not every single day. As you know, this is something that's so expensive. We can't do it all the time. So intermittently, when I am able to, come up with a few $1,000s and put together, a team like this, by the way, which is a dream team for me. It was amazing how we were able to put together so many amazing people, with so much talent. The cast, the crew, everybody just came together. And the underlying theme behind it all, the passion that we had for this story is just so amazing. To do something, when it comes to short films, to produce something like that, and not just have a story, but at the end of the day, be able to use that story for multiple things. I think that's what it's all about. Because, yeah, it's great to have a calling card, look what I can do, but let's try, in my opinion, what we should do is make these short films for other reasons so that we can enter the festival market. That's wonderful, but we can also utilize it in other means. For instance, I'm actually using this short film in a dissertation. So I'm going to use it as an intervention where people come in. It's all done online. You take a pre-test, then you get exposed to the film.
Okay.
Then you have a post-test.
Great. That's like a social. Is that a social experiment?
Yes,
Can I call it that? Okay.
It is. Yes. It's a
Amazing.
social
What is your
experiment.
dissertation for your PhD?
It's all about it's for it's actually a PsyD, but it's all the same. It's a
school.
doctoral degree. Yeah.
Good.
And it's all about workplace issues and transgender individuals and how we can do things, especially in the workplace, to try to make it easier for transgender individuals. They happen to have the highest rate of unemployment, underemployment, and we haven't even touched on the issues where there's a lot of violence towards transgender individuals, especially transgender females of color. We also have issues of transgender individuals, especially young ones, who are contemplating and actually committing suicide. So these are huge things, and they touch my heart because, outside of all the other things that are also happening in the world right now, as we see on the news, I mean, there's so much negativity out there. Man, what can we do to try to make this world just more positive place?
Learn and grow.
Right. And it's not all about being Pollyanna and, just ignoring all the negative out there and just saying, no, but we must, join together and hold hands. No, I want to be realistic too. I want to acknowledge that there's a lot of bad out there, but then I want to see how we can turn that. And of course, as an artist, I want to utilize motion pictures to help motivate people and move them to get away from the negativity and find ways to burn. I'm sorry, I don't want to use the word burn, especially in this, what's going on lately. But what I mean is to crumble down the structures that have been put up for many, many years. Burn is
the flawed structures.
Right. Burn is the wrong word to use, so I do apologize. But it's to crumble all of these things that people have spent decades putting up, that are actually oppressive systems. You know?
Definitely.
So I'm not too savvy with my words with that particular thing.
That's fine. I mean, everything is a learning process, but the most important part, what you're doing is brilliant, because with the little that you know and the little that I know and everybody else, you're trying to bring your part to the table. And when you find yourself doing that, you find other people doing it as well, and then you build what you call a team. And that's exactly how you alleviate things or eradicate things sometimes that are happening in a society. Anyways, we're going to a quick break, and we'll be right back. Thank you for tuning in.
The summer is almost here, and you can renew your home's curb appeal in just a few hours. First Class Pressure Cleaning specializes in residential driveways and landscaping. Starting at only $50, First Class can make your house look brand new. Let's get ready for summer. Call 786-440-8450 and take advantage of our specials. We promise quality, dedication, and professional service. Get your residents treated first class. First Class Pressure Cleaning brings class to your home. 786-440-8450 and tell them you heard about them from Artistic Times. You're listening to Artistic Times with Alexandra Bello. Call into the show at 888-565-1470 and join us on the red carpet as Alexandra interviews and informs at WNN 1470 and ABP TV. Now, back to our show.
What he just said. All right, we are back, and we have golden information right here about what Joshua is trying to do with this film, and it's amazing. I want to congratulate you for doing that, and I actually want to talk to Caitlin about what is your perspective of what he just said. That there's a lot of transgenders that are having all these issues at work environments, or basically not even being hired.
It's a horrible thing that's going on. I mean, as a transgender person, I know that finding work and finding housing are difficult things. I mean, I myself, Joshua was talking about suicide, the suicide rate amongst transgender teens, and I myself have tried. Gratefully, I was unsuccessful, but it's a real issue that's out there. I mean, 41% of people who are transgender attempt suicide, and that's like 40% higher than the national average, which is staggering and disheartening.
And what would you tell other transgenders like you out there?
I would tell young trans people who are just starting out their transitions, or people who are doubting themselves whether or not they feel who they are. I would say, just like everyone else says, it'll get better. Just be who you are, and it's really all the advice I can give is be the individual that you want to be.
Exactly. Don't let anyone tell you where you're going or where you have to go.
Exactly.
The voice of the others is important, but yours is more important, and it should be louder, right, than everybody else's.
Yeah.
I also want to talk to you, Kevin, about a little more. I know we spoke about your process and your history with Joshua, but I want to talk specifically about this film, if you mind.
Well, specifically about this film, I guess I don't know. I don't want to give away too much of this stuff. Creatively, we had. I mean, Josh had amazing ideas, and we collaborate really, really well together. But we did some special things with the look of the film, and you could think of maybe the film transitions visually, as well as the characters through it, and the. The cast, Caitlin, what an amazing performer, and the production part of it was when Josh told me, honestly, before I had met Caitlin, Josh told me it was just, our lead actress was gonna, he said she was perfect for the role, but she's never acted before, and we were both kind of worried about it, and he's like, but I have faith, and so when we were on set and in production, Caitlin did an amazing job. I mean, it was, really, I wouldn't say she's not a one-take wonder yet, but we got in, 1, 2, 3 takes, and we were knocking it out, and she definitely, and brought the intensity of the film, I think, that we needed, as well did all the characters. I mean, we had an amazing cast on that, and then outside of that, I think the thing about making a film is it's all grand because you can once you lock down the dates for production, you can say, okay, this is going to be my life for these days, and so everybody's in there, and you're in there for 12, 16 hours a day, and you're going to knock the film out. And I think the struggle for us was the post process, and
Yes.
we didn't have like an official editor come on board, and so. And I, once we're kind of back to our lives and back to school, and I'm teaching and raising my son, and everything else that's going, that goes on in your life. And Josh just pulled it on and started, I worked with him, maybe 3-4 times, right? We sat together in post, but he started knocking the film together, and that was. It was just amazing. I think that everybody in this project, from beginning to end, has been amazing, and I think it's a testament to anything. And Josh knows this, and Caitlin probably knows it now. But to complete a film, to bring any project, and it doesn't matter what the format is or the length. It takes a level of tenacity and commitment, and passion for what you're doing, and I think the critical thing for that is bringing those parts, all of those things together, and it definitely, happened on this film, this production.
Awesome. Well, for all the listeners out there, I know there's a lot of people that are attending the anniversary for Entertainment Tuesdays. They either listening right now, or they're going to listen to us on the replays. But I want to say hi to Ellen Jacoby and Rose Warner that are down there in Miami. If you are in Miami, if you're driving and listening to the show, don't forget to stop by City Hall, because there's the anniversary party for Entertainment Tuesdays networking event. So go ahead and stop over there. And on Thursday, if you don't have the ticket, call Joshua, bother Joshua. And go to that minervafilms.net and just check the heck out of that website, maybe not for this Thursday, but like just to learn a little bit about Minerva Films. I hear they do photography as well, and it's beautiful. I have seen some work, and I am impressed. So anything else you want to tell the audience, Joshua?
Reach out to us any way that you possibly want to, and I promise you that we will get back to you. And I want to thank everyone out there who is listening and who has supported us and who has been a part of this film and who will continue to be a part of this film. So thank you. And thank you, Alexandra, and thank you to the Gateway Theater as well for extending themselves for this Thursday.
We have a big shout out for the Gateway Theater. They love working with local artists, and if you happen to want to contact them, you can either talk to me and I'll put you in touch with Joshua. Remember to follow me on Alexander Bello on Facebook. You can also find me on Twitter on ABPTV, and Instagram. So just go to your Instagram, ABP TV, and Twitter. Remember that if you want to listen every Tuesday on 1470 AM, we will also have a Monday edition starting next Monday at 7:30 PM. So 1470 AM. And if you go to your iHeartRadio, you just simply, let's try it. You just go to your iHeartRadio application on your phone, and very simple, just look for AM 1470 WNN and just click play, and whatever is playing is going to play right now, and you're going to listen to yourself in this case, because there's an echo. There's going to start. But this is what it looks like. It's from the phone right here. I was listening to a show last week, and I was addicted to the show. It was awesome. Anyways, remember to find we're going to be covering a little bit of the red carpet for Being Transgressive on Gateway Theater. So we're going to have Rachel Galvin over there doing some interviews, and you can find those interviews on Vimeo, ABP TV as well. And you can also, go to artistictimes.tv if you want to listen to the show and watch the show. We have this show coming out to multiple outlets. We actually have this show going to AMP 2 TV and Artistic Times TV. We are going to have it soon in June in abptv.net, and we always have it coming out on Vimeo. So go ahead and do that. I want to let you know about a couple of events that went successfully. We have a couple of minutes. So I want to say hi to Michael McLaren. They had a successful 50 Shades of Poe. It was, did you find out about that?
No, but I think it's funny.
Oh, right. At Abyss Theater in Wilton Manors. So you go ahead and check that out. On Wilton Manors, they got the Abyss Theater. Also, poetry comedy. We have Cello Blue Magic. It was last week, and it was awesome. I was actually yesterday at an event in Pembroke Pines, and I am amazed with how beautiful Pembroke Pines is. So they are working with Latins a lot, and they are working with events. So go ahead and check Pembroke Pines out. We have the 18th annual Downtown Delray Beach Craft Festival on May 23rd. So go ahead and, get in touch with your art and your craft, because it's very interesting. There's a lot going on here in South Florida, and it's just about finding out the right events to go to and the right people to meet. So that's very interesting. We also have MoCA exhibitions, and it's creative art for kids from 6 to 12-year-olds at 2 p.m. on Saturday, May 2nd, and it's only $10. So you can have your children go over there and learn a little bit more about art. And there are some apps that I recommend for you to find these things out. I recommend always Facebook events and go to the right groups. There's a lot of groups on Facebook. So go ahead and type whatever group you're looking for, artistic or castings, or is it like filmmakers, and you're going to find tons of groups, and they're going to be updating you on their events. There is also another app that I recommend called Meetup. And Meetup is going to let you know what's happening close to you, depending on what you tell it that you like. If you like art, for example, last week we had talent and executive networking events by Johnny Marseille, and it was amazing with Hilary Metz. We have every week we have Michael Jacks. We have weekly Act and Learn for Michael Jacks. Thank you very much. And for those who called, and if you couldn't get in touch with us, just follow me on Facebook at Alexandra Bello, and find me on Instagram and Twitter. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Hear you later.
You have been listening to Alexandra Bello from Alexandra Bello Productions and Artistic Times Radio. Join us every Tuesday at 7:30 and get informed in the world of artists, celebrities, musicians, writers, and more on the Red Carpet Fashion Show. Join us next week for more red carpet treatment of Artistic Times. The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.